leaders, all the industry leaders, all the researchers, and youngsters who will take us forward. This session is extremely important, which has been profoundly regulated and indicated by another state secretary. Talking about biofuels, because biofuel is the future. We need to make this growth. India has taken large leap in the biofuel area. With the policy intervention, with the biofuel alliance, with the new provisions in our 2024 budget, where biogas, biofuel, bioplastic has come as a very important area of future development. This session has a great significance. We would also like to thank IW to arrange such a futuristic visionary session. And India has one big role as a technology because our waste is different in different countries. The logistics are different in different countries. So it has to be mutual collaboration of indigenous as well as international approaches. Already it has discussion with Airbus and CSIR which is finally taken from market is being discussed a lot in media and in research. And we expect that this industry will take a lead with a lot of digitalization, a lot of innovation, and a lot of collaboration in the future. With this, I request first speaker, Satyen Kumar. Satyen Kumar.
Share of biomass in global energy mix expected to reach 35 million barrel oil equivalent per day in 2045 from 26 million barrel of oil equivalent per day in 2024. As future refinery configuration is expected to be net zero oriented, co-processing of biomass-based biofuel in a refinery is an imperative and we shall act in achieving net zero targets. Biomass potential in India is around 229 million, considering 20% of biomass produces oil potential around 46 million. Cotton, rice, wheat-based biomass occupy 53% of total area. We could see state-wise scenario: Andhra Pradesh, Gujarat, Madhya Pradesh, Maharashtra, Punjab, Uttar Pradesh, West Bengal. It is a major biomass producing states having surplus and plenty of biomass which can be pipelines for biofuel production. Globally, 20 partnership projects are under different stage of demonstration, including key thermal conversion of biomass includes combustion, gasification and pyrolysis. Combustion generates heat only. Gasification can be applied for generation of syngas. But thermal conversion of biomass to produce gas and oil and fuel has increased gain importance due to flexibility of pyrolysis technology and age of adoption. Another route for biomass conversion is by fermentation. IOCL has set up three plant based on this technology. There are several biomass conversion routes, out of which biomass pyrolysis is an attractive option owing to lower cost, storage, transportation, and versatility in application. There are different types of pyrolysis reactor reported in literature for carrying out biomass pyrolysis. However, rotating cone, fluidized other are commonly used one. Out of these, fluidized other are most popular currently. Another emerging technology is hydrothermal liquefaction of biomass, which is medium temperature, high pressure, and is capable of converting biomass waste without requirement of heat events such as drying. Several types of biomass such as rice straw, wood, sawdust, bagasse, wheat straw, cotton straw, and their property are shown in this table. Cellulose, hemicellulose, lignin are the three major components of biomass, and it includes generally in the range of 30 to 60%, 15 to 30%, and 10 to 15% respectively of indocellular biomass. Biomass aqueous phase, oily phase, and char. Aqueous phase contains stored chemicals. Chemical can be recovered from aqueous phase. Oily phase is for biofuel. Biofuel can be upgraded to graduated product. Char can be used as adsorbent, soil degradation, catalyst support. Biofuel application tools. Biofuel can be processed in gasification. Gas produced from gasifier can be used for ammonia production, hydrogen production, can be processed for isotope for production of fuel and chemicals. Biofuel can be used for marine fuel as a marine fuel. Biofuel can also be upgraded through different processing units such as electrochemical, microgravity, and catalytic cracking. Biofuel property and production issue for refining. This is the typical biofuel property shown in this table. Density is greater than 1, CCR is greater than 10, can value more than 20, and oxygen oxygen content more than 25, metal content more than 1550. And you are aware that ICCL means high coating tendency, high oxygen means low calorific value, and high metal chances of catalytic reaction to be first. High tan means increased corrosive metal particles. So biomass particles of high CFR, tan and metal can be co-processed only the residue oxidation in raw oil, delayed cooking. So integration of processing the delayed cooking can be possible. Can determine in proper condition is to thermal decomposition, impurity generally concentrated in the coke, dosing covered by the pre-10 limitation, impurity limitation in downstream processing refrigerator. Long term, it can be processed in FCC or hydroprocessing depending on post-feed treatment facility. For dosing percentage, total can be increased by post-treatment facility. As you know, Goel is a civil process for conversion of heaviest residue of bacterial mineral gas distillate coke. It can process any type of feedstock, including sludge and smoke. Typical feedstock is vacuum residue here, and it operates oil outlet temperature of around 500 degrees centigrade, operating down outlet pressure of 1 to 3 kg. This condition is constituted for with pan-India basis, electrical capacity in India is around 51.6 million, but IOCL is having 17% capacity. Based on the bioprocessing, this is the property of biofuel generated from rice straw. Density is around 1.09, CCR around 20, tan value is around 60, and metal around 1600 ppm. We have biofuel tracking study conducted in a micromolar unit, but micromolar condition was of 400 temperature and 487, reactor pressure was 40. Typical biofuel is for 9 to 12% gas, 6 to 7% distillate, 18 to 24% coke. Conversion of biofuel is around 70 to 80% of them. These values may be varied with peak type, source and operating condition. Bioscale validation work was done in 1 barrel quantum barrel with dosing of 1.1% biofuel in residue feedstock. Total yield data is shown here. Well gas increase at 0.1%, LPG 0.1%, distillate yield improvement is at 0.7%, and coke yield has improved by 0.4%. Impact protocol for dosing of 1.1% biofuel in residue feedstock is shown here. Tan in zero product increased by 0.2%, delta 0.2 units, and tan in LPO has increased 0.6, tan in LPO 0.4. Olefin in liquid product has increased by 0.4%. Metal in coke increased by 50 ppm, gas increased by 0.1%. Biofuel dosing rate 0.5 to 1% technical improvement. With delayed property, then metal limitation as well as processing. Benefit of bioprocessing in delayed property unit. Going to non-controlling nature of the delayed cooking, its capability to handle most challenging feedstock, no issue with respect to catalytic co-processing of biofuel in a delayed program shall reduce food import. Conversion of biofuel in refinery shall also provide inputs to the net zero goal of India as well as Indian refinery. Co-processing in a tissue provides a pathway for integrating biofuel in existing refinery infrastructure. As our refinery become more flexible and technology best suited for future refinery configuration. It will reduce emission also. In summary, electrocarbon could be utilized for integrated biofuel in petroleum refinery. 4% of biofuel is with a lesser process intensive stream compared to processing other processing unit. Issue to return its significance in future scenario for producing differentiated green product. This is a synergistic technology offer green energy solution under the OSP umbrella. Biofuel conversion in electrocarbon enable future preparedness for achieving net zero goal, energy transition, energy independence. Thank you for listening patiently. Thank you for giving me opportunity for presentation.
Thank you, Satyen. If the questions at the end, so thank you, and we can invite next speaker, Mr. Ramandeep.
Thank you, ma'am, for a very important talk. And we are going to speak about the production of CBG from water rising. Although this topic looks very long, but I'll just start with two very impactful pictures. So I'm sure that a lot of people in the audience will recognize this picture. So this is a picture of burning of paddy straw in the fields, mostly North India. Now this has brought a very crucial environmental point to the national politics. So much as so, it is actually driving the biofuel policies of India along with the high import bill. But here's another picture, which doesn't look as dramatic as the previous one because it's very green, there is no smoke here, but it is another environmental tipping point in all the coastal and the Indian subcontinent, especially in the areas of the water bodies. So what is this? This is Kochuri Panna, as we call it in Bengali. It is water hyacinth. It is also called terror of Bengal. It is a non-native species which has been brought from South America to India as an ornamental plant. It is said that Lady Hastings, of the first British Governor General, brought it in last end of the 18th century, and then it has spread throughout the India. Now, this particular species is so invasive and so strong that it produces around thousands of seeds annually, and those remain viable for 28 years. So just imagine the quarter of a century, those are going to remain viable. Now this particular picture here is a picture of a canal which is completely covered with water hyacinth. This is the typical scene which you can see across it. So what it does is it destroys all the water bodies by blocking the waterways, hampering fisheries, recreational activities, or even hydrocarbons. The coverage is so thick, it leaves no room for any flora and fauna to develop in those particular water bodies. In fact, the top layer is so thick that even the sunlight or oxygen cannot come into the contact of water to replenish the quality of water. And it breeds a lot of insects and pests. So there are few existing control mechanisms which are encouraged by various government bodies and NGOs. One of those is using it as animal fodder and mixing it with the existing ones. So it requires cutting, drying, and it also this water hyacinth also has many allergic compounds like lactose and alkaloids, so which leads to mouth irritation and clinical symptoms in animals. So again, this has not picked up a great response. Another very glamorous control mechanism we can say is using this water hyacinth in crowds. So this is a very tedious process. It is a very skillful process. Very few of the villages have developed this process, and the demand really doesn't meet the supply. So, but it has been really successful, and but the problem is the villages don't have access to the distribution channel and the market. So, another control mechanism for water hyacinth was converting it to manure. Now, this requires a lot of time, and it also has a lot of fibers. So, it is not very interesting compared to farmers, compared to the existing chemical or cow dung type other process, I would say, plant matter, which gives more yield in the farm. So in some from Haldia Refinery, I have just introduced this slide. We are also running a Feed to Wealth program at Haldia Refinery, where we help the local community to extract and harvest this water hyacinth, convert it into various crafts and commodities, and also provide a market to them. So then now we have understood that there is one environmental tipping point which is called water hyacinth, which is already prevalent in eastern India, I would say, and all the water bodies. There have been limited and few control mechanisms in order to control that problem. Now let us come to the potential of this water hyacinth. So this is a study conducted by Ministry of Jal Shakti, wherein all the state-wise distribution of water bodies. So there are around 24 lakh water bodies in India, and out of those 7.5 lakh are in West Bengal only, 1/3. Now mostly those are ponds and reservoirs, and they are mostly used for pisciculture. Now there is another fact here, is around 97% of those water bodies are privately owned. So all the water hyacinth which is extracted from those water bodies are kept on the side of those water bodies, where they decay and produce greenhouse gases, and all the potential is lost, as well as those greenhouse gases are going to have more environmental impact. Another source for those water hyacinth are the waste tanks. So this is a study conducted by IIT Kharagpur, where around 5% of the, so most of my slides are from the area of West Bengal, because we have taken this study in the West Bengal, but of course this is applicable throughout the country wherever the similar problem is faced. So a study was conducted by the state reports in Singh in IIT Kharagpur, and around 5% of waste land has been identified in the state of West Bengal, which is around 4,400 square kilometers. Of that, 1/3 is waterlogged and marshy, which is completely covered by water hyacinth. So, water hyacinth, we have seen how much is the potential. I would just like to mention that in the typical biofuel feeds which are available for conversion into pyrolysis oil or CBG or any other source of biofuels, typically we use paddy straw or any other agriculture or processing straw. But water hyacinth also provides a very good, you can say, a backup or a phased manner availability throughout the year. If you see the tanking of the traditional farm-based harvesting, all the paddy straw is mostly available from October to September, and it can be stored. So maybe up to the winters, we can have a continuous flow of this raw material. And agriculture processing industry based rice husk can be available throughout the year. But water hyacinth is mostly harvested in March before the rainy season and the summers. So this provides a very good banking and wealth distribution availability of feedstock, so that it can be added with existing feedstock of paddy straw and rice husk and provide a continuous feed input for any kind of biofuel plants. I am particularly talking about CBG in this study. Another point I'd like to mention here is that rice husk is presently used as a fuel because there is no other potentially available usage. So this again burns in the mills of various rice milling industries. Now, water hyacinth is mostly semi and hemicellulose and water. So initial estimate we thought that it should be around maybe 30% of odds to have a commercial viability. But we commissioned an internal study by our R&D team. So these were the various samples which were sent there: water hyacinth, paddy straw, rice husk, and the various combination of these things. And we got, after trying it, we got around 10 to 15% moisture in all of them. And a pre-treatment of extrusion is essential for all of these things. So here are the results. So we have undertook a biofuel potential study, and it was used in using our own in-house developed biocatalyst at a temperature of 40 degrees for 45 days. And we find that all the feedstock have good biofuel potential. However, we have produced this result as a reference of rice husk, which is established as a commercially viable project. And we find that although water hyacinth is lower in CBG yield, it is much higher in liquid fermented organic matter. So it increases the economics. Also, if we use it in combination with paddy straw, it again gives a very economic viable IRRs. However, we need some pre-treatments, and about 20% carbon was added in this study to balance the carbon and nitrogen. So this particular slide is because as a West Bengal, it is not still developing a CBG market, CNG market. So there are few hurdles where we find that certain CBG plants are facing supply-demand challenges. So we are also suggesting that those bio-CNG cascades can be unloaded at refinery and used as a refinery fuel gas, which is going to again substitute the fuel gas and reduce fuel gas of refineries, and then India will achieve the net zero. Also, if it is used in refineries, we could make it more viable by avoiding a compressor which has to compress to a pressure of maybe 200 kgs. So refinery fuel gas may be available at 4 to 5 kg. So finally, coming to the conclusion, in the last previous speaker slide which we have seen a lot of feeds, but we did not see any water hyacinth there. So if we start considering this as a good feed, it brings new areas into the fold of renewable energy. And those areas are really good. Just for West Bengal, it is around, you can say 1200 square kilometers, and then a large part of water bodies, 7 lakh water bodies. It also provides a market for local communities to dispose of those water hyacinth which they take out of their pond and then keep it on the side, which then disintegrate and decompose and produce greenhouse gases like methane, which is not utilized. And they have much higher capacity to store the heat. But it will require some reforms in the government in order to facilitate the movement of water hyacinth to the CBG plants, and again return of liquid fermented organic matter and fermented organic matter from the CBG plants to the field. So thank you everybody. This is just a picture of delta of Hooghly River where the Haldia Refinery is situated. We have planted around 20 lakh mangroves there. So,